Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Wrestling Classic. Justin here, live from the Vibe with the first ever episode of the TWC Report. And yeah, for those of you who know me, ooh, yeah, what up? And for those of you who don't, my name is Justin. I'm the Wrestling Classic on Instagram. I'm the founder and creator of the Wrestling Classic brand. You could also find me on the WrestlingClassic.com or at all the pay-per-view and predictions and reviews, which I'll probably end up just doing on the show now. Also, you can also find me on the Jerks podcast with Ernie and Nick, and you can find it on iTunes and everything. And now you can find me on the Vibe YouTube channel and here on iTunes and SoundCloud and everything else to listen to the TWC Show. Every week we'll be ripping down and talking about Raw, SmackDown, AEW, and everything else that is going on in the world of professional wrestling. Those of you who know me know that it's a really big deal for me to try to get people to watch wrestling again, get the conversation going, get people to enjoy wrestling or remember why they used to watch wrestling. And you adapt to perish, and rather than just posting videos and pictures on Instagram, I thought, why not do a show? And I'm going to share my thoughts. I'm going to share my opinions. I'm going to have revolving co-hosts, regular co-hosts. My regular co-host isn't here today. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Devin. But today I got us a very special co-host for the first episode of the TWC Report, and we'll get to him in a second. First things first, I just want to say thank you for everyone that is here watching this. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's called The Vibe. I know, probably throwing you off because it's not called The Wrestling Classic. But we're on The Vibe. This is the network you can watch this show. So make sure you subscribe, drop a like, drop some comments, because we're going to talk a lot of stuff about wrestling, and we need you guys to continue the discussion, and I will be responding to you guys in all your comments to what our opinions and thoughts are. We're fans just like all of you. The only thing I know about professional wrestling is I know nothing at all, but I'm very passionate about it, and I got lots of thoughts, ideas, and creative opinions, and so do my co-hosts. Now, going back to that, I got Punjabi music producer generally, on Dash Radio, as well as his own station on Dash Radio. You may know him as DJ Intense, but today he's Big Daddy Cool Aneil, the wrestling fan. Would you like to introduce yourself, Aneil?
You kind of just did.
Well, who are you? Give him a little bit more of an insight.
Well, yeah, as most of you guys know, if you listen to some of the most hit Punjabi music in the industry right now in the game, I am Intense. I produce all the hits. And today, I am not Intense. I am Aneil, the wrestling fan.
Aneil, the wrestling fan.
Big sexy, the wrestling fan.
I feel like that's going to be our nickname, Aneil, the wrestling fan.
Aneil, the wrestling fan, yeah.
So, Aneil, like, before we get into this, because we're gonna break down everything that's happened in wrestling this week. Wrestling. How long have you loved wrestling? Why? Like, what does wrestling mean to you? Because for me, it's a big deal to engage with my followers and my fans and the people that follow the Wrestling Classic and figure out why they loved wrestling, who their favorite wrestlers were, and why they are still so passionate about it today. The older we get, a lot of people will go around and ask you, like, dude, you still watch wrestling? Like, yeah. You know it's fake, right? But what kept you a fan? Because I know what kept me a fan. My followers know what kept me a fan. I still think it's the greatest form of art and athleticism on this planet. But why is Aneil a wrestling fan?
Well, wrestling has been around since I was born, right? So my dad always watched wrestling.
I think it's been around before that, but okay.
Well, I mean, in my family, in my life. So pretty much, my dad guys watch wrestling. We used to go to all the events out here locally. Yeah. Back in the 80s, my grandpa watches wrestling. My other grandpa used to watch wrestling before he passed away. So it was pretty much growing up. Wrestling was always around. Cousins, family, everybody watched wrestling. It was just a matter of I'd never stopped. Yeah, I just continuously watched wrestling growing up my whole life.
Did you not stop? Because like for me, like same situation. I've watched it since I was a kid. My older brother watched it. He had a bunch of VHS tapes, magazines, all this stuff. So I grew up surrounded by wrestling, and I got hooked. But I also had a dark period too. I always say 2007 to 2011. I kind of stopped watching. I watched Raw every Monday. Didn't watch pay-per-views. Didn't watch SmackDown because it was on Fridays. I was out. But I watched Raw every Monday, and I called that my dark period because I also watch Impact. I watch TNA on Thursdays and I watch Raw on Mondays. But I wasn't as invested.
I'd say around there. I was around the same time. I kind of drained out from wrestling.
What brought you back in?
The Shield.
The Shield? Okay, mine was Punk's pipe bomb.
Punk. Yeah, it was Punk as well. I wasn't really big into Punk, but that was a big deal. I remember the pipe bomb, watching the pipe bomb go down, and watching like, wow, this was what the hell just happened here, right? Was this real or was this fake or what just happened, right? But it was more the Shield because the Shield kind of gave me a little bit of like a nostalgia feeling, kind of like. You know, when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash kind of walked down and they did that whole thing, it kind of gave me that feeling again. Like, okay, maybe they're coming back with that kind of a thing. But that's kind of what brought me back. Really, really.
What was your favorite period of wrestling?
Favorite period? Of course, Attitude was the, greatest period, right? Yeah, the Monday Night Wars were the best period. But, like, wholesome, good wrestling before that, like, what was that era called? The Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior era.
The rock and wrestling era.
Rock and wrestling era, right?
Is that when you first started watching? Like, who's the first wrestler you saw and you're like, oh, this is my favorite guy. I'm hooked.
Hogan, definitely.
Hogan, you're a Hogan guy. You're that generation.
Well, I was Hogan, but to tell you the truth, it was the Road Warriors.
Road Warriors?
Yeah, Legion of Doom.
Animal and Hawk?
Yeah, Animal and Hawk.
There was a rush.
Yeah, that's all. Every Halloween, that's all I wanted to be was either the Road Warriors.
Did you ever dress up as anyone on Halloween?
I did. I was like a hybrid of Hawk and Animal for because like I was.
So do you have like a half mohawk and a different face paint?
Well, no, it was the face paint. Like I showed my mom like a picture of what I wanted to do, and she like just kind of like put them both together into some weird thing. But it was still like I had the shoulder pads done. My dad bought a set of football shoulder pads and put some spikes on top, and I think
we all did it. Like I did the Sting thing when I was a kid. Obviously,
I did Sting like 2 years ago.
That works too.
I did Sting like 2 years ago.
So as you guys can see, this is Aneil, the wrestling fan, and he is a wrestling fan. I wanted you guys to know that before we got into this, because I know a lot of you are aware of who I am and who my favorites are and stuff. But I'm gonna have revolving guest hosts on there. One's gonna be more regular and often. That's Devin, and I want you guys to get to know them before we start breaking things down, so you can value their opinions the same way you guys value mine. I hope. Before we get to Raw though, because we're gonna talk about Raw.
Yep.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Vision Pros. If you guys are looking for sunglasses this lovely summer, if you guys are looking for just glasses in general, all brand names, glasses and sunglasses on sale on visionpros.com. And if you use my promo code TWC Classic, wait, is that what it is? I forget what my promo. No, it's VP Classic. If you use my promo code VP Classic on visionpros.com, you will save yourself an additional 25% off any of the brand name glasses they already have. And they're already discounted. So if something's discounted 50%, you get an additional 25% off. And that's only on visionpros.com. Check them out. Use their promo code VP Classic. I don't need to spell that out for you. It's very straightforward. Visionpros.com, glasses, sunglasses. If you need them prescription, that's available as well. So check out visionpros.com. Shout out to them. They're great people over there. Monday Night Raw, it was a reunion. It was a special episode. I'm glad we're doing this after a special episode of Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
A lot happened, but a whole lot of nothing happened to you. How do you feel?
It was better than the 25th anniversary.
You think so?
Yeah.
It was the best nostalgia show in a little while.
Yeah, they really messed up the 25-year thing.
Yeah, with the two arenas.
Yeah, that was really stupid. Yeah. I feel I think the two arena thing was cool if they just kept it all at that one at
the old school one.
At the old school one,
if they just did everything at the old school one.
Yeah, if they had done everything there, it would have been cool. But I guess obviously they still want to sell tickets and make money. So, but I think a lot more people would have tuned in on TV. Well, people did regardless, but yeah, I think they shit the bed on that one.
What was some of the highlights out of the reunion show for you?
The reunion show definitely was a Stone Cold segment.
For sure.
Yeah, I
think that was the best part of the night.
That was the best part of the night. I'm not gonna lie.
The thing that I love about Stone Cold is he never changes.
No,
he's always Stone Cold. It's like 10 years later and he's still Stone Cold.
Natural character.
And he's standing in the ring. He's saying the fact that Stone Cold's like, I was nervous. I didn't know what I was gonna say. And he's like, oh, but coach said just be yourself. It's because you are Stone Cold. Like Stone Cold is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He always says like the best characters is yourself exaggerated to 1,000 or times 10 or whatever. And that's who Stone Cold is. He came out there and he killed it. He could have said anything. He could have shit the bed. And it would have been good. And
he kind of even did just like, some of the jokes, even trying to step on the beer can and stuff like that. And like, I think that came on after the show was over. But
there's so many new fans and so many new casual fans, but he still gets a pop. Like, and he was a highlight. They had Hogan come out. They had Flair come out, not say anything. Yeah. Which sometimes it's hard to give Flair a live mic at this.
Yeah, he just said he's going to do his wheeling, dealing, flying, etc.
Hogan did his thing. I think Hogan's still in that. He's in the doghouse. They're trying to bring him back in slowly. Let's not make him the main feature, even though he is Hulk Hogan. But Stone Cold obviously is the most popular wrestler of all time.
Yeah, he definitely, Stone Cold was the best part.
Aside from The Rock, but The Rock's more popular because of his movie career. Exactly. As a wrestler, Stone Cold's the most popular wrestler.
I did kind of like the whole DX NWO. I kind of liked the idea of it, but the way it was executed was kind of crap.
Does it do anything for anyone though?
No, nothing. It didn't do anything for anybody.
Did it do anything for the club? And I don't like the fact that they're called the OC.
Yeah,
it literally reminds me of the TV show. I'm like Seth, Ryan, Marissa, and Summer. Like, what's going on here?
That's exactly
what is going on here. Like, I don't know, like the OC. Like, I don't know. I know that show's been off the air for God knows how long, but that's what I think they
made. I think they made a joke about it on air too. I think.
Did they? Corey Graves. Like, what's wrong with the club?
The club was great.
And it can't be the OC unless Finn Balor joins them eventually.
Yeah, and because he is the original.
Because Finn Balor with Gallows and Anderson, that is the original.
It was actually just Finn Balor and Anderson from the beginning to start off with, right? Yeah. And Gallows came in after.
But I would like Finn, if it's the OC, Finn needs to be a part of that. And I know we'll talk about that when we get to SmackDown. He's probably taking some time off, but if he comes back and he joins the club,
it's gonna be that would be the best business decision.
And I think Heyman gets it because let's just start off with that. Heyman and Bischoff are both officially in charge this week.
Yep.
They're taking over the creative control stuff. I saw Vince McMahon did an interview, one of his quarterly interviews he did earlier today, and he mentioned that the reason why they're in charge is because he needs to get out of the weeds. He needs to focus on other things. Considering that the XFL is coming out next year, I feel like he has to focus on that a lot. It's not going to be easy for him to focus on the XFL plus weekly television of Raw.
I think the XFL is probably the best thing that ever happened to WWE right now.
Because Vince is going to take a step back. No, for sure.
No offense to Vince McMahon. He's been a fantastic. There's a reason why we've been watching wrestling.
I always try to say that to people. I'm like, listen, everyone tries to Vince McMahon's out of touch. Vince McMahon sucks. F that guy. Da da da. I'm like, all of our favorite memories and all of our worst memories came from the same
Vince
guy.
McMahon,
as long as it happened in the WWE. Obviously, WCW is different stuff. But like when it comes to if you're a Hulkamania fan, if you love Stone Cold, then you have to credit Vince.
Yeah. But if you understand, he's 70 plus years old at this point now. It's gonna be understandable that he's
not gonna hit a home run every time. And I do agree. The older he's gotten, maybe not the best decisions are being made. Yeah. But we can't discredit the fact that we're doing this show right now. Mm-hmm. We're wrestling fans still, and a lot of that has to do with Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
Mostly our generation. We're not those guys that grew up on Memphis wrestling and Jim Crockett Promotions. We grew up on the WWF.
Yeah, that's what it was. WWF with the original gold logo.
Our generation can't Our generation, anyone after that can't really talk that much crap about Vince McMahon because.
It's just, what it is at this point. It's just what's happening now, right? With all because especially with the whole internet thing going on now, how wrestling really is.
Social media ruined wrestling. Internet ruined wrestling.
It definitely ruined wrestling. The surprise factor's gone. As somebody's backstage at this point.
Surprise factor's gone. Everyone has something to
I think actually they got it right on Reunion because RVD showed up and nobody knew that RVD was going to show up.
How poorly did they use those guys though?
Horrible. RVD could have been.
RVD, the Hurricane.
Actually, no. Now I'll tell you what my favorite part was: the Street Profits
and the
RVD joke.
That was good. Do you remember what it was?
It was he was talking about I was in the washroom. It was kind of smoky in there or something. Yeah. And he's like, I saw RVD in there.
And then Montez, who I think out of the Street Profits is the more charismatic one. I'm a fan of both of them. Montez, he's gonna be a star, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the joke too, and I don't know if that flew over a lot of people's heads, but it was great.
I started laughing because I knew right away.
A lot of the stuff I enjoyed was the 24/7 title stuff. And honestly, in the past, the two things I enjoyed the most, other than the nostalgia stuff, we took all the Stone Cold DX stuff away, and we looked at the current product stuff. The two things I've enjoyed in the past couple of months on TV were the two things I enjoyed about Raw that happened this week on the Reunion Show. And that's the 24/7 title stuff, which I want to talk about, and the Bray Wyatt stuff, which we'll talk about when we get to SmackDown. But fully putting Bray Wyatt over was a good use of a legend.
Fantastic.
Because nobody else put anybody over.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. They could have done so much. Stone Cold and Kevin Owens, that would have been the easiest,
just
smartest.
Missed the wall on
that. Passing the torch. If he's using the stunner at this point, come on.
I got sad when I found out the SmackDown guys went there.
Yeah, it would have made such a huge difference. I think it would have given him the torch. At least then it would have given him that authenticity at this point, right? Because KO using the stunner, it's great because I like KO.
Yeah,
I like what he's doing, but it's still that's Stone Cold's move.
Then they shared a beer after something. That's a perfect
way.
I don't know. I agree with you, but SmackDown a live show that day, the same night, which is unfortunate because that would have been a great way to.
Yeah.
Imagine Shane came out in Austin and Owens was just trading stunners on him.
Yeah. Vince McMahon got stunned by Stone Cold and Shane got stunned by KO.
I have so many points I want to touch on right now, and I know we have a lot to talk about because we text each other all the time. We talk, and I kept telling you to save it for the show, and now we're all over the place.
Anyways,
I'm going to bring up three things. Now that we're on that point about the Stone Cold stunnering stuff with Kevin Owens, the fact there was no McMahons on the Raw reunion.
None. I was just thinking that too.
Did that help? I think I liked it because there was no McMahon.
It didn't make sense because at the end of the Raw reunion, you liked it. I think at the end of the day they should have because it was a reunion. But at the same time, it didn't make much of a difference. I don't think
it would have made no sense for Stephanie to be. There's nothing for her to do.
No, not Stephanie. I think Vince should have came out when Stone Cold came out. Realistically, maybe. I feel if Stone Cold's coming out, the reason why Raw was so big for so many years was because of Stone Cold and Vince McMahon.
No, for sure.
So that's
the reason they want. That's one of the biggest reasons they want.
Right, they had Stone Cold out. It's goes hand in hand kind of a thing, but. They made it more as an actual reunion party as opposed to it being in character. Like, look, Stone Cold's running around the ring talking about stories about what he did with Jill Briscoe and what he was doing with Ron Simmons and stuff like that, right? Which was cool, you know what I mean? It was like more, it felt more like relatable, I guess. He's trying to make it seem like we're just humans, you know what I mean? We worked hard, we did all this stuff, and this is
they're the old guard, and it kind of showed that camaraderie of the locker room.
Yeah.
You know, like they're he said it, like this is like a family.
Yeah.
All the guys, from the people doing the production and the camera guys to the guys down the street, like this is, you know, it's nice to get back together. And I've heard it a million times. All these WrestleCon events, all these signings and stuff, like the wrestlers love getting back together and seeing each other. No matter what kind of beef they had back in the day when they're on the road, like it's like. I can give you a perfect example, man. I've gone to like 5 weddings this summer with my friends I went to high school with. A lot of them I haven't hung out with for years. Yeah. But I see them, and it's fun.
So many memories, right? So many things you get.
Like nothing's really changed. We're still boys. Like if there was any hard feelings about anything, like it wasn't there. Everyone was cool with each other. I enjoy hanging out with them and partying with them. It's been a long time for me. Mm-hmm. I hope they enjoyed seeing me and hanging out with me. I can't really talk on their behalf, but like there's that camaraderie. It's like, you know, like no matter how much time passed, there was that period of time that everyone was with each other every day. When you're similar to working backstage every day, it's high school. You see people every single day. You know, those are your friends you saw every day at school, whether you were skipping, you know what I mean? Like,
it didn't matter what you were doing. At the end of the day, you have those memories, and those memories will never go away, right? And exactly. That reunion was what it was.
And stuff like that's relatable. And that's one day we're gonna have a conversation about downhill, and there's not a lot to talk about because I feel like there's a lot to talk about today. But I miss things in wrestling being relatable. Yep. Factions, when guys rolled in crews like DX and MW, it was relatable because we all had crews. Every guy likes to be a part of a crew of guys that were doing their own things. Yeah, it's relatable. You wanted to beat up your boss, it's relatable. There's things things that are missing that aren't relatable. That's a whole different topic.
Yeah, well, that's what's happened in the last few years. They put together a lot of factions that had made no sense, or what could have made a lot of sense, but they didn't execute them right.
They just weren't relatable. The club's relatable. The OC, it's relatable.
Exactly.
Because you know those guys are friends in real life, and you can be like, yeah, I have 2 friends, we'll like the club.
Exactly.
That's why the Shield is great. The Shield is relatable. Right. I think there's a thing about guys being friends, not, you know, they don't have to be all.
It becomes natural.
It's natural. We can relate to that.
Yeah, natural bonding in there just makes you feel more. It's a more relatable situation. Yeah.
Do you think that WWE has a really bad problem now though of only making 3-man groups?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Because that's what makes it unrelatable. Everything's a 3-man group. Why can't there be 4 guys that are together? That's why I kind of like
the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, well, I love that, but that's NXT. But that's why I also been kind of enjoying Shane McMahon's little crew because I'm like, this is like Shane, Elias, Drew McIntyre, the Revival. Like he has his own little crew, and that's relatable. It's kind of becoming that's real life. Yeah. You know what I mean? But sticking to Raw reunion before we go on a whole different topic. Yep. I want to talk about Bray Wyatt really quickly. Mandible Claw.
Yeah, that was.
Should he be using it? Was that fully passing the torch for Bray to use the Mandible Claw?
I don't know if that was passing the torch. I think that was Bray Wyatt just letting him know that, hey, I can be anything. I can do whatever you can do. I don't see him using the Mandible Claw.
I think it's a great move for a heel.
It would be a good move for him, but because he is so twisted, I could see it. But I see him being in a different type of twisted, as opposed to like Mankind.
I love Sister Abigail. I still think that should be his finisher. Yeah.
But Mandible Claw
adding it to his repertoire for sure.
Yeah.
I see him adding it to his repertoire.
I could see he did it, so who knows? Yeah. Maybe he is, right?
Because I think every superstar should have a submission.
Raw wrestling in general hasn't had a character like Bray Wyatt or like the Fiend.
Dude, everything they're doing with it is great. Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people don't get it when they first see it. Like if someone first sees a Firefly Funhouse, they're like, what is this? I think that was everyone's initial reaction.
Yeah. It's like, where are they going with this?
I loved it from day one. Though. Yeah, I told him, like, listen, be patient. This guy's twisted. Yeah, I'm like, he's a cult leader. This is just a different approach for him to catch people. They got
this right so far.
If I can't get the adults, I'm gonna get the kids. Yeah, you know, and it's working.
And that mask is so creepy to some like I've heard some people say, like, I remember reading something about how some kids have watched it on TV and they like freaked out and stuff like that. So it's exactly what they're trying to attack right now. They're getting it right now.
There wasn't much that Seth Rollins did. Seth Rollins fought AJ Styles. He cut a promo with Heyman coming out and stuff. Not a huge fan of Rollins versus Brock again at SummerSlam.
Seth is kind of getting bland to me right now.
As a baby, and he is my favorite wrestler on the roster.
He's amazing.
He's my number one favorite of the current era. Seth Rollins is my favorite.
Fantastic.
He was such a good heel.
Yeah, I think we need a turn.
I'm not even a turn. Even if he's gonna be a babyface, I don't like compare Kevin Owens right now as a babyface to Seth Rollins as a babyface. I don't like it that you turn to a babyface and you're just automatically this good guy that's happy all the time, smiling. Like you can still have depth.
It's kind of cringy.
Yeah. Like, why do you have to be like this happy white meat babyface.
And then now that they kind of added this whole Becky Lynch thing into there as well, like it makes him look even more like he's the girlfriend kind of a thing.
A lot of people say I don't think I agree with that, but I just think their chemistry was off on screen. I'm not saying in real life they have poor chemistry. There's been a lot of people being like, "You guys have no chemistry. Why are you even dating?" That's real life. Wrestling, their chemistry wasn't the greatest. Situation. Yeah, that's a whole wrestling scripted. They had to read scripts. Yeah. But I don't know, that whole thing was, I hated the whole Baron Corbin thing. I don't know why he's in the main event sometimes, but I think Seth needs something fresh and new. That's a problem. Like he had Brock, then he went to this Baron Corbin thing with Becky too, and it just wasn't cool. He needs something fresh and new. Instead, we're getting Seth versus Brock again. Yeah.
And what's gonna happen? And what Seth's gonna beat Brock at SummerSlam, and then what's Brock gonna do? Because Brock's still gotta do something.
I know. And honestly, like, hear me out. Wouldn't it have been better if Brock went after Kofi?
Yeah, I think that would have added a whole different dynamic to everything.
And Kofi, I'm happy he's champion. I'm not going to say he's been a good champion. He's been a fighting champion. Same thing with Seth. He just kind of had feuds that we knew he was going to beat Ziggler. The Owens thing was like a month long. It wasn't going to go any further.
But there's so many other people that Rollins could have had right now.
If Brock came after, look at it like this, okay? Let's use these four guys because we have Kofi and Orton that we found on SmackDown at SummerSlam, and we have Brock and Seth going on SummerSlam. Yeah. I really would have loved to seen Orton versus Brock again. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I was rooting for Orton in that Battle Royal last week. Yeah. But what if we just mixed up? What if we had Brock versus Kofi?
It would have made more sense.
Where Kofi could legitimize Lesnar. Yeah. I mean, Lesnar could have legitimized Kofi. He would have made, if Kofi beat Lesnar, whoa, this is a meaningful champion. And then somehow,
even though that would never happen.
And then somehow, we got to Orton versus Rollins. I would believe that.
And that would have been way better after that WrestleMania RKO. That is still the most craziest RKO ever.
And that was heel Rollins and babyface Orton. Now we'll switch roles. Now we got heel Orton and babyface Rollins. I think they have great chemistry. I would have rather seen Rollins versus Orton at SummerSlam and Brock versus Kofi.
Yeah. Definitely, I 100% agree with you because right now we're looking at
rematches.
We're looking at rematches.
And I love the fact that we're having Kofi and Orton. But how many times have we seen those two wrestle?
Kofi Norton, yeah.
Even before he was going into WrestleMania, they wrestled a ton.
But are we still on Raw though?
We're still on Raw.
We're still on Raw.
When you say something, you want to say something.
Well, I love this angle though, the way they're taking it. I love the Kofi Norton. I love the Kofi Norton.
We'll get back to that. Let's just finish off Raw. Yeah. I think I only have one last thing I want to say about Raw. 24/7 Championship. Loved it. Enjoyable. So funny seeing Pat Patterson. He's so old he wasn't able to do like a move or properly pin him. Yeah. It was funny. Gerald Briscoe winning. We didn't even see the pinfall, but still funny.
It was funny.
Alundra Blaze trying to put the
that was money.
I know it seems like they've done it so many times. Every time they bring back Alundra Blaze, they show that. Yeah. But
the fact that she grabbed it and did it was
hopefully
funny.
Hopefully it's the last time we see Alundra Blaze trying to throw a title in the garbage. But that was funny. Ted DiBiase buying it. Funny.
Gotta love his laugh still, right? He still got it.
I was really happy to see Kelly become the 24/7 champion.
She's the first woman's 24/7 champion.
I thought that was hilarious. And I'm a huge Barbie fan. Shout out to Barbie. I know you're never going to watch this, but she's awesome. I've met her a bunch of times. She's super cool. But do have a little bit of a complaint. I almost think that with how much she's been involved, Carmella probably should have been the first women's 24/7 champion.
Realistically, that would have been set up a great... I think they want to keep Carmella and R-Truth together, but I think it would have been a great way to...
But imagine, because that's the thing, because automatically people's brains go like, what are you going to do? Have Carmella pin R-Truth and win the belt from him secretly? Or like turn on him?
If she had it though, you're right though. It would have caused a whole different situation.
But if they did that, you could do that. But no one's thinking like, what if like Carmella pinned Maverick and won the belt? Yeah. After Maverick pinned R-Truth, not really turn on Truth. You know what I mean?
And then what would Truth do? Like, what do he like?
No, and then obviously Maverick would win it back, and then Truth would win it back. Like, you have to mess around. You gotta get creative with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
it is a 24/7 title, I guess.
I would have loved to. Like, you can't go back in time. I love Kelly. She's awesome, but I don't think we can.
It's done.
Yeah, Carmella should have been the first.
Look, for what the 24/7 title was when they brought it out initially to what it's become. Yeah, it's got a little prestige.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's fun. And I think that's what people don't realize.
And they've added, and that's
the title looks dumb. The name is dumb. Yeah. But I said this the moment it came out. The people that follow me on Instagram know. I'm like, but it's gonna be a fun concept.
It gave R-Truth and Carmella like
R-Truth, Carmella, Jinder Maverick. Yeah. Those guys took this title in their own hands and they've creatively over social media. Like, I know Drake Maverick. I've talked to him. I know like that those videos that he puts out about him searching for like those are him. He's doing that.
He's doing himself. Yeah.
Yeah. He's making these videos. Right, you know, all this R-Truth rapping to Old Town Road and stuff. Like, he's making these videos. These guys have taken this 24/7 title and they ran with it and they made it really entertaining. It's been some of the most entertaining stuff, not only on television but also on the program.
Definitely, I think it has added definite entertainment to the programs for Raw.
And it also gave us the continuation of the Carmella R-Truth relationship, which is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, they work great together. Their chemistry.
And I love Carmella. Anyone that knows me, I love you, Carmella. But shout out to Carmella.
I know you love Carmella.
She's dope though. Like we've talked. She's
I know. I saw you at the live event. You know.
Yeah. Mella's money. Is there anything else you want to say about on Raw? Shout out to Corey Graves too. He's a great dude. Is there? No, really, Corey Graves is a great dude. I've talked and met him as well.
He seems like a cool guy.
He's an awesome guy. He's here in Vancouver right now. If you watch us, if you want to grab a beer, let me know. Anything else for Raw?
I'm done with Raw, man.
Raw?
Yeah, I'm done with Raw.
Okay, we'll get to SmackDown, but very quickly before we get to SmackDown, I just want to give a quick shout out to my boys at Maestro's Classic. They create all this product for beard care and hair care and stuff like that. They are the barbers for all your favorite WWE superstars and talent in the WWE. They're backstage at all the shows, cutting everybody's hair. If you like Braun Strowman's beard, if you like Sheamus's hair, if you like all this stuff, that's Maestro's Classic. Their products for your beard keeps your beard fresh, non-itchy. It's good. It's healthy for your beard. And look at me, I'm a bearded man. I use it and I love it. He's a bearded man. He uses it too and he loves it. You can get it if you're in the United States. You can find Maestro's products in Target, but also if you go to their website and you use their promo code TWC Maestro, you can save money on Maestro Classic products if you shop online using the promo code TWC Maestro. MaestroClassic.com. Shout out to those guys. They're awesome. Their products awesome. If you sit around and you look at people's beards on the WWE program and you're like, damn man, how do they get their beard to look so healthy and fresh like that when it's so long? It's Maestro Classic. That's the secret. Check them out. MaestroClassic.com. Let's get to SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
The blue brand moving to Fox in October.
SmackDown was freaking brilliant this week.
He's in charge. Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Was it brilliant?
It was one of the better episodes I've seen in a while. I think they set up SummerSlam so good.
Way better than Raw did. Yeah, the Raw show was like a
did.
nostalgia show. There was like no build up for SummerSlam. I think there was like that one segment with Natalya and Becky Lynch.
Yeah, and that was...
Before we get to SmackDown, actually, how do you feel about that? Cheap pop for Canada? Putting Natalya there? And I love Natalya.
I love Natalya's
I
respect her, but like there's so many other people that I think could be in this picture.
Is Becky Lynch losing her luster?
Yeah.
She is, right?
Yeah, I was down with it from the beginning, and now this is kind of like it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Is it? Because I've said this many times, the concept of chasing the title is way more entertaining
than her having it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it was. Fun. It was a struggle. Now that because it was great watching her struggle and her getting to the top, and then once she got to the top, it was like kind of like how same thing with Kofi. Yeah. Kofi, same thing. Like it's great watching him go to the top, but he's actually been a great champion. I found Becky to be boring now. I'm
not comparing Becky to Stone Cold, but I always had that idea, and the reason why the Stone Cold thing worked so well is he won the belt at WrestleMania, but the month following WrestleMania was Vince doing whatever he could do to get the belt off Austin.
Exactly.
And it was always fun seeing Austin try to find the way to keep the belt.
Mm-hmm.
He was against Mick Foley, then he was up against Undertaker and Kane, and then he
lost
the belt.
What has Becky had?
And it was fun. And Becky's tag team with her boyfriend.
Yeah. It's kind of
that storyline hurt everybody.
Yeah, it really killed the vibe.
And honestly, a lot of people she's not ready for it. This shouldn't happen. But I was like, they really should.
I would have been happy if Lacey Evans.
That's literally what I was gonna say. I'm like, at the second pay per view, I'm like, they should just let Lacey win it.
Yeah.
So we can have Becky chase it again.
Yeah, it would have been fantastic. Way more entertaining. Yeah, that would have been more fun to watch as opposed to.
And people don't like Lacey Evans. Even better.
Yeah, I don't like Corbin.
I wouldn't want that's like saying do you want someone that you like? Do you want someone like Alexa Bliss to beat Becky Lynch? It's not going to be as effective as someone you hate, like Lacey Evans beating Becky Lynch.
I like Alexa Bliss.
I love Alexa Bliss, but that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be happy. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
If Lacey wins, I wouldn't be okay with that. And then I would also be like, but this is great because now Becky's chasing the belt again.
Exactly. Right? And I think that's what they were trying to do with Seth right now.
Yeah.
Is have him chase the belt again, but he doesn't need to chase the belt.
I think if it was anyone but Brock, it would be okay.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
It was just because it's Brock again.
Yeah.
It's like we've been here for a year, 2 years.
It's like we finally got this few months of no Brock Lesnar and title, and you guys just rip it out. And I think that's Heyman though.
And
Heyman, that's just Heyman. Hey, look, I got power now. I'm gonna do this anyway.
And I don't even dislike Brock Lesnar. I do see how he's an attraction and this and that. But come on, and that's what I mean. Even if we went after the WWE title, it would have just felt different.
They could have done Brock and Bobby Lashley. That would have
been money.
That's all we're waiting for. I think that's all Brock's got left, and that's all Lashley really needs.
Yeah,
is that match. And once that match happens, it'll be fantastic. Everybody will be happy, and that'll be a sellout.
I agree. But anyway, SmackDown. What were things that stood out to you about SmackDown?
I loved the Ziggler segment.
Really?
I loved it just because I loved the whole Shawn Michaels thing. How
Shawn Michaels was supposed to be on commentary.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. Yeah,
so he was promoted to be on commentary.
Yeah,
but then they I guess changed the plans last minute. They're like, let's put Shawn Michaels on Miz TV.
I guess they needed to figure something out what
Corey
to do
Graves
with him.
Is out doing a project out here in Vancouver, from my knowledge, and creeping his Instagram. Mm-hmm. So they filled in the commentary with the New Day for the first little bit, and then Michael Cole in the end. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
That was great.
The change in commentary.
It added a whole bunch of different dynamics to the whole thing, right?
And it's just fresh voices every hour.
You know what's cool about Michael Cole being on there, though? Michael Cole didn't overpower.
Yeah. He didn't try to be the lead.
He was like the third commentator.
He wasn't trying to be the lead, because on Raw, he's the lead.
Yeah.
Here, he's let Tom Phillips continue to be the lead.
Yeah.
And just was there. And I actually didn't mind hearing Michael Cole's voice in the second hour.
Yeah.
Because I missed the first 5-10 minutes of the show, and I tuned in. I'm like, wait a minute, why is the New Day on commentary? It made no sense to me.
And then they left and Kofi came in.
Yeah, and then I enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed it. And it reminded me of WCW. Like, the first half would be it'd be Larry Zbyszko and blah, 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 blah. And then it'd be Eric Bischoff.
Yeah. Bobby Heenan
and Tenny. Like, they always switch it. I think the first half was Tony Schiavone, Zbyszko, and someone else. And I always appreciate it. And Bischoff always says he did that because it would keep the show feeling fresh. He's like, that was my idea behind it.
I think maybe, I guess that makes sense of why it probably happened.
With Bischoff in charge again.
Yeah.
Because they could have just had the New Day there all night. But maybe he's like, let's switch it up for the second hour.
Yeah, let's see. Bring a few different people on.
I enjoyed that, man.
It was, honestly,
because it's hard listening to the same
I think maybe that's why I like SmackDown so much this week.
It's really hard listening to the same people for 2 hours, let alone 3 hours.
And it's funny, actually, if you were watching when the New Day, when Apollo Crews was fighting Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Shinsuke. Yeah, Shinsuke.
Shinsuke. Okay, that's okay.
Nakamura.
Okay. All right, WrestleBotch. Okay. Go on.
It was just funny them talking about Apollo Crews the whole time. Like, he's the man, but he's just got to finish. It was just cool, hearing them talk about stuff.
Wrestlers giving their insight
on different wrestlers and stuff like that.
And having them singing Shawn Michaels' theme when he came out and stuff. Yeah, it was comedy.
It was hilarious.
I don't know. I hope maybe they do something like that where they do switch up the commentary teams, even if it's just one person per hour.
Yeah.
I think sometimes they forget how important the commentary is to the show, because we're not just watching, we're listening.
Well, I think it's great that we got Corey Graves. I think what they've done is, I think Corey Graves is the most brilliant person to have on the commentary, but they got him for both nights. Yeah. Which I think is very exhausting at the end of the day for somebody like that to be doing that.
And it's just the same voice on two shows. Over, I think there needs to be a little bit of a mix, and I enjoyed that part. But going back to Shawn Michaels and Dolph Ziggler, why did you know that segment?
It was just great, second-rate Shawn Michaels. He dropped it. And what everybody was thinking is exactly what he said. That was the best thing ever, because, I know now we're going to get the Miz and Ziggler, but it would be fantastic to see a Shawn Michaels versus Ziggler. And to be honest with you, get Shawn Michaels to lose to Ziggler and put Ziggler over. Ziggler needs it.
Are we done with Dolph Ziggler?
Honestly,
has the ship sailed?
I'm not. I know what? I like Ziggler now more than I did before.
I've always been a Dolph Ziggler fan.
I never liked Ziggler. I used to get so annoyed because he was a second-rate Shawn Michaels. He would be just Shawn Michaels over and over again.
And he's always this close to the top. He's always this close. And he gets everyone behind him with his passionate promos.
Remember the Survivor Series when he just killed it? That one Survivor Series he beat everybody.
When Sting debuted, 2014.
Yeah, and he ripped it, and then all of a sudden,
or when he won the world title and then he got a concussion. Yeah, or when he was in the main. He's always this close.
So it's true, right?
But the problem is he's been this close so many times. I'm over it.
I don't know, man. I just think he's still.
I think he's great. I think he's tremendous.
Still, I like him. I just like that he got called out though.
I almost feel like I'm going to be that negative guy. It's he's a good hand.
Yeah, he is.
That's a negative thing to say. And I'm not a wrestler. I'm not speaking from in ring. I'm not speaking from in ring. I'm just saying because if anyone knows me, I'm a huge character storyline guy. Mm-hmm. I love characters. I love storylines. That's what I thrive on. If there's good characters and good storylines, then there will be memorable matches.
I think that's a brilliant storyline, though. The second-rate Shawn Michaels that everybody.
I don't want to see Shawn wrestle again.
I don't either, but I kind of want to see it.
I blocked out Crown Jewel. That never happened. That match
and the fact that he called them out about it and that had that reality kind of thing based to it. That's what I think I liked about it. Right.
I also feel like Ziggler's promos a little they sound scripted. He sounds like he's acting.
Yeah. And so that's
overacting.
So that's why I like that Shawn Michaels thing that was a part of it. Yeah. I think that's what added more to that whole thing. So now I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing the Miz versus Ziggler, even though we've seen it.
Fair. Know what I mean? They work great together. Miz is underrated as a performer.
Definitely.
But that's the thing about the Miz. Miz is one of those guys that he isn't the most spectacular guy in the ring that's going to do crazy flippy stuff and suicide dives and all
He's
that
trying. He's trying to do the frog splash.
My point is, he doesn't have to because he's such a good character and he always tells good stories on the mic. So some of his matches, you're just invested in because you're invested in what he said and what he's done.
Yep.
It makes a big difference. I can see, and listen, I love wrestling as much as the next person. I've seen so many good wrestling matches. Mm-hmm. We're so spoiled in this generation. We get like good wrestling matches every other Monday.
We're way too spoiled.
We get good wrestling matches on Mondays, Tuesdays. Like we get top-notch matches. The problem is that we get so many good matches that they don't mean anything anymore.
No.
Unless you invest in the characters and the storylines.
Well,
I can watch a really good match 3 weeks down the road. I'll forget.
I'm more of a storyline guy at the end of the day too. Like, I like a good storyline, right? So that's why I kind of like that whole second rate Shawn Michaels thing. Same thing with the whole Orton and Kofi thing.
How do you feel?
So initially when he called out Randy Orton, I'm like, really?
I love Orton. I'm an Orton.
I know, but at the end of the day, did you really want to see Kofi and Orton?
No, I want to see Orton versus Brock or Orton versus Roman.
Exactly, right? But the fact that they pulled out this huge storyline out of nowhere where like Kofi's like, back in 2009,
they brought it up. We all thought it. Every time they touched each other leading into WrestleMania,
they
brought the gauntlets, they brought up the whole. Remember at one point, if you remember back in 2009, that match, the infamous match where Kofi messed up and Randy Orton yelled at him, stupid. He's like, stupid.
Yeah.
And then on the road to WrestleMania in the gauntlet, there was a point where Kofi yelled at Orton, stupid, kind of like full circle.
It's been exactly. So
we know it's there.
So, and the fact that they touched on it, they talked about it, and they added, they created a storyline that made it interesting now. Like, okay, guess what? Now all these times that you thought I would never make it, guess what? Now I made it. Now you thought I was an idiot, I couldn't do it. Now I'm gonna prove it to you, right? So it's like, it's that hunger through. Now he's a champion now. Kofi's a champion. It's the same thing. You know, like we were just talking about, we loved watching Becky struggle, get to the top.
Yeah.
It's like now, okay, Kofi's at the top.
And now he has a challenge.
Now he has to prove himself to somebody.
Yeah, and this is an actual challenge.
Exactly.
So let's be honest. We saw him versus Ziggler, and we knew that Ziggler
wasn't going to happen.
We knew that Ziggler was going to get this close.
Yeah, it wasn't going to happen, right? If it did, it would have been kind of cool. It would have changed the dynamic, but then Ziggler would have lost.
The Owens thing seemed rushed. The feud he had with Owens, it seemed super rushed. The feud he had with Joe seemed like a threat. Joe always seems like a threat.
But
once again, Joe's almost like Ziggler now. He always gets this close.
Yeah, Joe's like
and no matter how close he gets, we still believe the next person he faces. Like, oh, Joe's got this.
We keep thinking. I remember I told you, I was saying to him, like, yeah, Joe's gonna beat him. Joe's gonna beat him.
I don't want Joe to be this era's Ziggler, but hopefully he makes it to the top eventually. But that sticks around like that.
I think that eventually they will do something, hopefully, with Joe. That's good. I think they might push him down to NXT again, to be honest.
No, I think Joe's going to do some stuff. Because was it you that said he dropped the U.S. title because they want to put the other strap on him?
Yeah. That's what made sense, right? Well, it made sense because they put him into the picture right away, right? So that's what made me automatically assume, because at that point, I was finding Kofi to get a little bit stale.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And it's not stale. It's just like, once again, the chase.
You know what I mean? The chase is gone. Yeah.
Now he's champ. But what is he doing?
Yeah.
That's really entertaining.
So that's why I love this Orton and Kingston.
Because Orton's the first guy. Let's be honest. 17 years in the WWE.
Yeah.
Hell of a character. Has a character. You can go all the way back to how he started the evolution, getting portrayed on. Like, it all equals up to who he is today.
He said it himself. He's like, look, all these years you had a Jamaican accent, you had this, you're running around throwing pancakes. He's like, guess what? He's like, I had 13 championships, and I did it because I'm Orton. Yeah. Not because I had to have all this.
And the thing about because Orton is Orton. Orton's almost like when you see Austin, you know who Austin is. When you see Orton, who Orton is.
Orton.
I will agree with anyone that, and I'm an Orton fan till the end of time. Like, I'm a little Orton fan. But I'll even say he gets stale sometimes as a baby face.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's always consistent in the ring. He'll always give people good matches. Sometimes when he's a baby face, he's not that entertaining. Like he gets kind of stale.
Yeah, it gets boring.
But he's a hell of a heel. Yeah. And he's kind of like the measuring stick. If Kofi can beat Orton, that kind of validates him as a champion.
Yeah.
He's a good enough guy to do that.
See, look, they use Orton to put over Jinder Mahal, okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They used him. They abused him. And he did it. And to the fact that he is still able to be in the main event picture after something like that.
He's at that point in the career where he's like Shawn Michaels in his second run to put the younger guys over.
Exactly.
But also believable that he could win the belt.
Exactly.
And no one's going to complain about it.
And that's exactly what it is. Orton's still that guy.
That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah. And he's one of the original guys that is still able to do it. That's what makes it great.
Speaking about things that have been beautiful on SmackDown, though. Mm-hmm. This new Kevin Owens, this new attitude of Kevin Owens trying to take down Shane McMahon.
Yeah, I love it. Like, it's fantastic.
And the thing, my sister was even watching with me. She doesn't watch any wrestling no more. And she watched all of SmackDown. She was calling out everybody like, this guy's overacting. This seems so fake. She's like, this Kevin Owens guy, he seems like a wrestler.
Well, first things first, it's because he's like the most relatable looking guy to any of us.
He seems like a wrestler. She's like, he wrestles like a wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. My sister grew up with me and my older brother. She's in the middle.
She knows.
She grew up watching wrestling, whether she liked it or not.
Yeah.
And she was even like a fan during that McMahon Helmsley era time, early 2000s. Like the soap opera time. She loved that. Like she's like, whoa, Stephanie slapped Linda. You know what I mean? Like she knows her stuff. So like I don't usually take it like what she's saying seriously, but like getting that outside perspective of someone that doesn't watch weekly but understands the business, like she gets it but does not like a fan. It was intriguing because like she's like, oh, this seems weird, that seems weird. Like why is the WWE champion throwing pancakes? Like she was saying out stuff that a fan that doesn't watch every week actually wouldn't understand. Like straightforward.
So and she put it out there. If somebody knows, like, you could tell.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, this Randy Orton guy, he's good. He makes sense. Kevin Owens, she's like, this guy seems like a wrestler. And I'm like, that's why I think Kevin Owens, it's so easy for him to be this babyface because he is kind of what we look at.
Even as a heel, you want to like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even with all his antics that he does, he could do them. You just want to like him.
Yeah.
Because it's more, he keeps it real.
And you believe what he's saying.
Yeah.
You believe. And that's the thing. He's a character that's so well established and he's himself that when he's complaining about Shane McMahon and this stuff, you believe him. Yeah. Like, yeah, no, dude, Kevin Owens, he feels this way.
Yeah.
And we also, and the coolest thing about it is we know they have that history. We know in 2017 they had that feud. And now it's like coming back, it's like, oh, KO was right the entire time. And he was the bad guy in that feud. He was right the entire time. Yeah. And we got shades of Shane being egotistical during that feud. I remember that Brian and Shane both being referees, and then Shane was kind of being like, and Brian's like, yo, what's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah.
It's like it's come true. And now Shane's got all this power, and he has been running rampant. That's been one of the complaints.
Who knows? Maybe they've had this plan since then.
That would be insane. I don't think they can do that type of long-term booking anymore, but that would be insane.
Yeah, because
if they did,
he
props
quit.
to you.
Remember the whole I quit thing, and
if they did, props to them.
Yeah,
but it feels good, man. It feels good that they moved Shane away from Roman because that feud was just.
It was bland.
There's just I don't know. It just wasn't.
They're kind of killing Drew McIntyre's character.
Yeah, Drew's getting the worst of that.
Yeah,
so matches were okay. Like the tag team match with Undertaker and Roman.
Yeah, it was good. It was nothing wrong with it. It was just that they're pretty much turning Drew into like a jobber without making him into a. You know what I mean?
They keep saying he's this like unstoppable Scottish. What is he? A Scottish psychopath.
When he was with Ziggler, I got that. I got that vibe.
Now he just seems like Shane's lackey that loses with Shane.
Yeah,
he gets beat up with Shane.
Yeah,
he needs to pick up some big ones. Maybe him beating up Cedric is the start of that.
Well, I think like I said to you before, I think they're trying to attempt this, and I don't really like to do this whole comparison thing of like the Attitude Era and stuff like that. But like, Kofi and Roman and Roman and KO, Roman and KO being
Kevin
like the
Owens.
Roman and Kevin Owens. Sorry, brain fart there.
Yeah.
Roman and Kevin Owens being like the new Stone Cold and Rock.
It's like a real Big Daddy Cool promo.
Yeah. I didn't want to cycle. Wow. I didn't want to cycle Sid it there for a second. Yeah,
don't give me a cycle Sid promo. Yo, can we start over again? Can we start from the top? No, we're live, pal. We're live. You got to be prepared for this. Yeah, no, you said that to me. You said the KO Roman thing kind of gave you Stone Cold Rock vibes. And I talked about this on the Jerks podcast, which you guys can check out on iTunes and SoundCloud and all those other places.
Quick plug.
Yeah, quick plug for the Jerks podcast. I'm on that podcast every week. But I talked about it on that too. I'm like, the one thing that I liked about the chemistry between KO and Kevin Owens is that they weren't acting like best friends, raising each other's arms and stuff. It's like that old theory, an enemy of an enemy is a friend.
Exactly.
To me, you know what I mean? It's something like that.
There's something like that. But that's why I liked it. That's why I gave you that vibe.
Because they have a common enemy. They're not friends. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. Because I hate it when someone turns babyface next to them. Like they're friends with all the babyfaces too, and they're like hugging. Like no, Kevin Owens is still unpredictable. Not a great guy. He could turn around. And we know that Kevin Owens has turned on all of his fans. That's what I mean. Kevin Owens has depth to his character that I'm more invested to see what Kevin Owens does.
Yeah.
Rather than some guys like Seth Rollins, tremendous wrestler, had a lot of depth to his character when he's a bad guy. But if I went up to you and I'm like, yo, and you have to, I'm like, yo, can you describe to our intern here who's never watched wrestling in a very long period of time who Seth Rollins is as a character? But you can't use any of his nicknames. You can't use Beast Slayer or any of the stuff. But you have to describe who Seth Rollins is. How would you describe him? He's a really good wrestler.
He's a really good wrestler.
That's not a character.
Yeah.
Describe Roman Reigns. You can. He's a Samoan. He's like a badass Samoan.
He's got a family lineage of.
Yeah. You can describe Kevin Owens.
Generations.
But there's so many guys you can't describe. Who's Finn Balor? Can't use any of his nicknames.
Nope.
Who's AJ Styles? You can't use any of his nicknames.
Nope.
There's no character to these guys.
AJ, like, yeah, for example, AJ Styles.
You can't say phenomenal.
No, but your AJ Styles is AJ Styles because of Bullet Club. At the end of the day, the reason why we love him is because of Bullet Club.
No, because TNA. Because
no, don't get me wrong. TNA, he was a fantastic. I never watched TNA.
Oh, I did. I was a fan.
I was never really. I think I watched a little bit of it. Say
though, it's like it's hard to describe a lot of guys because they don't give them depth. The thing that, and maybe it's me. Maybe my brain, as a wrestling fan, is so desperate to continue to enjoy it that I take Kevin Owens and I remember him for the character he is, but they don't even know that. I'm like, oh, Kevin Owens. He's turned on all his friends. He's still a bad guy at heart. Yeah. But he has good intentions right now because he hates Shane McMahon. He's a bad guy that just doesn't like his boss. But now people are behind him.
It's the anti-authority thing, right? That's what it is. And everybody loves the anti-authority thing, right? They love
everyone is sick of Shane.
Yeah.
This wild card thing happened, and I love Shane McMahon. Even though I'm sick of him, when his music hits, I'm still like, here comes the money.
It's still that, the little shuffle and everything. Yeah, you love it. But right now, he has this whole best in the world thing. It's very irritating.
Yeah. He's a really good heel.
Yeah, he is a great heel right now. And the fact that we don't like him right now, what he's doing is it is
true that since the wild card rule, like you think about all the guys that have been back and forth on every show. Shane has been on like every show since the wild card rule.
Yep. Every single one.
Besides his Raw reunion, he was like on every Raw since the wild card rule. Yeah. He's like the most prominent star of all these guys. And Owens made points when he was saying like Liv Morgan's not on TV, the AOP's not on TV, Buddy Murphy's not here. It's true.
It was like, that's what we're saying. It's like that pipe bomb feeling. Yeah. That whole pipe bomb promo that went down. Yeah. That's exactly how it feels, right? Yeah. And I think that's what WWE is trying to get to now. Is they're realizing this reality thing is what's gonna work. Yeah. They're like, what's actually fake, what's actually real, right? And that's what kind of was the thing that happened back in the day. Is this real? Is this fake? Yeah. And I think they're trying to bring that back.
And I get that, and I really enjoyed that ending with Roman and KO beating up Shane. And it gave me vibes. I was joking around on the Jerks podcast. I'm like, the best thing that they could have done was like, I don't want Owens to be too Stone Cold-ish. Don't get me wrong. He does a stunner. Doesn't mean he has to be like Stone Cold.
Yeah, but slamming beers, right?
Yeah, no, not slamming beers. Not slamming beers. I like the best thing KO could have done was like, like when Austin used to tease that he was about to stunner someone? Yeah. And then they turn around and he'd be like, you know what I mean? Like he'd back off. I'm like, yo, it wouldn't have been money if KO like teased that he was going to stunner Roman too, and then Roman turned around and he's like, nah.
Yeah.
You're good for today. You're good for today. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
I think he might do it eventually.
Because then it gives you that whole idea of like
the edge.
Oh wait, KO's still a jackass.
This is true.
Like this guy's still an asshole, but
I really did wish that they did have KO on the reunion with Stone Cold. That would have made
missed opportunity. But that's the thing now. So Roman feuding with Shane McMahon. They had this whole thing with KO and Shane, KO and Roman beat up Shane and stuff. And I'm sure we're gonna get some tag matches of KO and Roman Reigns teaming up against Elias and whatever. Where does Roman go for SummerSlam? Are we getting a Drew McIntyre Roman rematch?
With the way it's going, I think that's really they don't have anything either.
Like, what is Roman gonna do?
It's pretty much what's gonna be. I see Drew McIntyre versus Roman.
The craziest thing they could do if Owens gets over as a super baby face for SmackDown on that brand, and they can this wildcard rule with. After watching this SmackDown, I definitely think they can and still have a great show. Yeah. I think both shows can be great now with Heyman and Bischoff there. They can this wildcard thing, and I hope they do soon. But If Owens becomes a super babyface, like, wouldn't the coolest... Because, you have Kofi as a super babyface, you have Orton, you have all these guys on SmackDown that are SmackDown guys. Yeah. But imagine Owens gets so super babyface that Roman turns and becomes Owens' main competitor.
That would be, like, the ideal, like, booking story that would never happen.
So I thought about it. So imagine
the ideal booking story that will never happen.
No, fantasy booking time with the Wrestling Classic. Let me tell you, okay? Imagine, just take this into consideration. You have Roman Reigns, he's super babyface, you have Owens super babyface. We get to this point where it's like a triple threat or something with Kofi Owens. Somehow the title gets involved in there or something, right? And we get like some sort of triple threat with like Roman versus Kofi versus Owens versus like Orton, like a fatal four-way or something. I don't know, something happens.
I see that happening actually for sure, though.
Something like that happened with the four top guys on that thing. I have to go have fatal four and everything's against Kofi. The wild card's Shane McMahon. He could either be the special ref or he could just be someone that's like trying to like, I'm going to make sure Owens and Roman don't win this match. Yeah. Like, he could be that guy, But it all ends with Shane helping Roman. And then Roman and Shane becoming together. And, like, the old school storyline of, wait, you hated this guy, now you're with him.
I think that would definitely be... Well, everybody wants to see Roman heel. That's been a given.
And what's Roman's excuse? Roman's thing is, you guys like Kevin Owens better than me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys were going to be happy if Owens won the belt.
Is anybody at WWE listening to this right now? We need this to be happening.
But the only issue is Roman Reigns this era's John Cena, where they're just never going to turn him because he sells merchandise and the kids love him.
I don't know. I think they need to do it because I see him being more like a Rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Rock turned. You know what I mean?
Him being heel will make him cool. Everyone turning. Think about 90% of the best baby faces were because they were heel and they became so cool that they had to be a baby face. Seth Rollins was such a good heel that people were happy when he turned baby face.
Exactly.
Randy Orton, every time he turns heel, he's so good. The fans turn him into a baby face.
Yeah, because they love it. It's the same thing with KO. Same with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, they tried to make her into a heel.
She was initially supposed to be a heel.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens was initially supposed to be a heel. But there's just those heels become the fans get behind him.
Yeah.
They think that time has passed. No. Fans still get behind the bad guys.
Yeah, they love the bad guy. And also at this point too, what they're gonna realize is that all those fans from the John Cena era are all grown up.
Yeah.
And they like
more kids. That's a problem.
Of course there's more kids coming and stuff like that.
But I think about that. Roman Reigns goes with Shane McMahon. What?
Yeah, I think that would be
just to get what he wants.
I think that'd be the most brilliant thing ever.
You know, because he's like, the odds.
I 100%. That's definitely would be the most ideal thing happening. And I was saying the same thing with Drew McIntyre. And I'd love to see Drew McIntyre turn face. I know how crazy this sounds, but imagine the matches: Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin.
Braun Strowman's a whole topic in himself.
Oh, I don't even know what the hell they're gonna do with him right now.
Let's wrap up SmackDown. Let's talk about one last thing that's going on in SmackDown. Someone else has no idea what they're doing at SummerSlam, and that's Charlotte Flair. We have Ember Moon versus Bayley.
Boring.
Anyone that knows me knows I'm not the biggest Bayley fan in the world.
Boring.
I thought she was great on NXT. Her whole main roster run.
Boring.
For me. I think she's great for the kids.
I think I said like 4 times. I'm boring.
I think she's great for the kids and everything. I think she's a good wrestler. I'm not invested in her at all. Anything she does, I'm just not invested in.
She needs a heel turn.
I blame Bayley for the fall of Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Because the moment Bayley came to the main roster, Sasha became Bayley's friend, and that's all Sasha was until they won the tag titles, and now she's gone.
We were waiting for that turn. We were waiting for that crazy turn.
They teased it like 3 times, and they always put them back together.
Yeah, the Elimination Chamber is where it should have happened.
Elimination Chamber, the summer where they started beefing.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, they probably canned that because they bring the tag titles, and then they put the tag titles on. Honestly, if they were still tag champions, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
But they dropped them so fast. Sasha kicked it. Bayley's champion.
Where are the tag
I would have rather
have
been vice versa.
Iconics?
I would have rather had Bayley kick it and Sasha be the champion.
It would have been much better. It would have been better for business.
And that's me being biased because Sasha Banks is my favorite female wrestler of all time. But I'm just not a big Bayley fan, man. I'm not invested in that at all. I actually want Ember to take the belt off her just because I don't care about Bayley. Does Charlotte get added to the match though, or does Charlotte do something else?
I think she will have something to do with the match. Maybe she'll be the special guest referee.
Or maybe she'll face someone like Trish Stratus to pop Toronto.
I know they're saying that right now. That would be good. I guess that would be best for business.
And it doesn't have to be just Trish. She could face a returning Sasha. There's something. Charlotte Flair, to me, when it comes to the women's division, is the measuring stick.
She is the women's division.
Yeah, like she's the measuring stick. Like I know she's only been there for so long, but she's achieved and accomplished so much. She's won every belt: the Raw Women's title, the SmackDown Women's title, the NXT Women's title. She's, main event of WrestleMania. She's done anything anyone could potentially do on that roster besides beat someone like Trish Stratus, or she can elevate anybody else that really needs it.
I think. Honestly, at this point, I think Charlotte needs a tag team partner.
I don't know.
And just to rock the tag team titles and bring some prestige to the titles, because right now we got this whole Iconics thing happening.
Well, the Iconics are probably going to drop it to Kairi Sane.
And I think about if Charlotte found a partner, maybe like Trish Stratus or somebody, and imagine Asuka and Kairi Sane. Yeah, that would be.
I'm just gonna say the last thing about Charlotte is that beating Charlotte means something. So anyone that can have a feud with her going into SummerSlam, beat her.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a storyline right there. Anybody should just step in and be like, oh, I want to face you at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you're Charlotte Flair and beating you matters.
I just think the Trish Stratus and Charlotte Flair match just wouldn't look like great.
But even if it wasn't a match,
Trish. But I think on paper it sounds good.
But anybody else, like anybody stepped up to Charlotte. Charlotte's at that point is that she's a measuring stick. She's the bar. Anybody that's ever succeeded in anything had Bayley had to beat Charlotte, Alexa to beat Charlotte, Ronda to beat Charlotte. It validates you.
I would have liked the Lacey and Charlotte thing because they're both like the same.
If Lacey beat Charlotte, it makes Lacey seem like more of a bigger star.
Yeah, and nothing would happen to Charlotte.
Nothing. That's the thing. She's already somehow she's already
established.
In that spot. Yeah.
She's established.
You brought up a good point though. Quickly before we get off SmackDown, Iconics was Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Yeah,
I love the Iconics. They're hilarious. They're great. The worst tag champs. They're hilarious. Yeah, and they're funny tag champs. I didn't expect them to have the belts for as long as they have.
Yeah,
Kairi Sane and Asuka definitely could have taken them off them. Are going to take them off them. I hope they do. But how much and once again, this is me not being a Bayley fan. how much better would it? Because I do think Bayley's a great wrestler. If it was Asuka and Kairi Sane facing Sasha and Bayley,
much better.
Because that's just money, like on paper and in the ring. That would have been money.
That's WrestleMania worthy right there.
What SummerSlam worthy for sure. But instead, we're probably gonna get the Iconics versus those two, and it just. I love the Iconics.
Is that going to happen at SummerSlam? Is that what they're saying?
Probably a kickoff or on the show. All I know is that Iconics are great. I love them. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
It just
it's
not appealing.
Yeah.
But anything else about SmackDown?
No.
I'd say Kevin Owens and
I think
Roman was a highlight.
I think SmackDown definitely set up SummerSlam great.
Yeah.
For what is going to happen.
Better than Raw did.
Much better. I love the Ziggler Miz thing. I love the.
We might get Demon Baylor versus the Fiend. I like that they showed a Firefly Funhouse. Kind of go back to not just showing the Fiend. Like, oh wait, he still does this. Plus, he turns.
It's funny actually. When Balor came out and started talking about Bray Wyatt, I was just thinking right before the segment happened, like, man, whatever happened to Firefly Funhouse? And it came on. And it came on. I'm like, okay.
They need to show the split personality. That's what makes his character work, because he is this person, then he's that person.
And it's like he talks in that personality, and then he doesn't talk.
And we know Finn is taking time off after SummerSlam.
I don't think they'll do the demon, because they do the demon. It's like, he can't lose as a demon.
There's two things. He can't lose as a demon. He's never lost as a demon, but maybe he can to the Fiend.
Right?
And then write him off, and he comes out, goes away, and then the demon comes back and has to get revenge.
Yeah, it could be like that.
And also my other point is that they've had the demon at every SummerSlam since Finn's been on the main roster.
It would make sense. You know what I mean? On paper, if they don't do the demon, it's kind of bland. But yeah, definitely if he were to lose the demon.
Yeah.
But they're trying to keep that whole thing as him being the demon, like that's like his unstoppable force. Yeah. But I guess the Fiend for sure. That's Bray Wyatt's other personality. So maybe Bray Wyatt's other personality is the one.
They need to start putting Bray Wyatt over on big matches, because when his old ways of doing this, it's not going to work. He never accomplished his goals. He won the WWE Championship once, but he never.
We already know at this point now that Bray and Finn are going at it. Bray's going to win. We already know that. That's what he given. That's what he given. We already know that. Yeah. But where does Bray go from there?
You're saying he beats Finn as normal Finn, and Finn comes back as a demon to get revenge?
That's what I think would happen. Right?
Yeah.
Like on a WWE, like how they would think at the end of the day as trying to keep the demon as the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it would be cool to have him lose the demon and come and redeem himself as a demon. Like, hey, look, what if Bray comes back as his normal persona and he becomes a demon? And it's like, I don't know.
I get where you're coming from. But I'm going to say this. There's two things I'll always question. One, I understand logically it would make no sense because they wanted Brock to go over.
Yeah.
But if I was Finn Balor and I was going to face Brock for the championship, I would have came out as the demon.
The demon, yeah.
But I get it. Brock was going to beat him, so let's not ruin the demon. But just still, like, come on, man. That just made, as a fan, we're like, oh, man.
Like, it was.
And the second thing, before Bray's career ends, or before The Undertaker's career ends, Bray needs to beat The Undertaker.
Yes, The Fiend is definitely going to be...
If he needs to be the new face of Fair, he needs to beat The Undertaker. The fact that Undertaker beat him every time still pisses me off. And I'm he's my second favorite wrestler of all time, The Undertaker.
Yeah.
He's one of the first people that caught my attention when I first started wrestling. I'll always be a loyal Undertaker fan. But there is a whole generation of children that is seeing old Undertaker and not disregarding him. He's still the man. Let them have their own scary guy. Let that be Bray Wyatt. Yeah, and for them to believe in Bray Wyatt, they need to beat the
Taker's not scary no more.
They need to beat the old scary guy.
Yeah. Taker's not scary no more. The old Taker was scary.
Not to us. If you're still scared of the Undertaker, man, I got questions for you.
But there was times, like, I remember when he said like those like graveyard segments and stuff as a kid. Like, I used to actually get scared at some of that stuff.
Oh no, for sure.
Growing up,
that's why Mankind's scary.
Yeah, 100%. He was. Yeah,
we need Bray to be the new scary guy, but he needs to beat Undertaker.
Yeah, he has
before Undertaker retires.
It needs to happen.
If that's Undertaker's last match, God bless.
That would be the best way to take him out.
Yeah,
maybe that's what this is going to set up, because at this point, after Finn's gone, what are they going to do with Bray Wyatt?
And imagine Bray's like, I had to change everything because I need to beat you.
Yeah,
and this is what I've become because my obsession to beat you.
Maybe that's what it is. Right?
That's just this long-term story that goes all the way back to WrestleMania 31, and he's like, I just need to beat the Undertaker.
Right. I just the one thing I find now with the Fiend character though is that they're gonna keep it going, and then when he does lose, it's gonna die.
I hope not. And Bray beating the Undertaker, like at this point, it's just they gotta. And he's a younger guy. We've seen Undertaker face off against older guys, like whether it's DX and the Brothers Destruction, all that stuff. But against someone like the Undertaker and Bray's younger and can work, it'll be great. But let's move on. Let's talk about AEW. But before we talk about AEW, quick shout out to Cordella Weight Belts. They've been making weight belts for the last 30 years for all athletes and professional wrestlers out there. If you're a heavy bodybuilder, you do squats and all that stuff, and you need to protect your back, check out Cordella Weight Belts. And for you wrestling fans, if you remember Hulk Hogan winning those weight belts in WCW when he was in the NWO, and we came back to WWF in 2002 and he used to whip people in the back with his weight belts, and the Macho Man winning those Madness belts when he was a part of the NWO. Those are all Cardillo weight belts. He's been making weight belts for Hulk Hogan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Macho Man, Stone Cold, The Rock till this day. If you see The Rock's social media post where he's wearing a weight belt, that's a Cardillo weight belt. So if you're one of those guys, you're into bodybuilding, you need a weight belt, there's nobody better in the business than Cardillo. Steve Cardillo's the man. He's helped me out a ton with this wrestling classic as I've been trying to grow and build it. So give him a look and check out Cardillo Weight Belts, man. Based out of Boston. You can go to the store if you're out there too. So yeah, shout out to Cardillo. AEW.
All Elite Wrestling.
Elite. Beep. I'm joking. I'm not that kind of mark. I'm a wrestling fan, but I'm not that. I do love the show though. I do watch Being the Elite. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for All Elite Wrestling. I'm excited for a substitute to the WWE, an alternative. That's the word.
Yeah,
not a substitute. It's an alternative.
Yeah.
I've watched all the events up to now. I was at All In Live. I know that wasn't technically an AEW event, but that's what launched it.
It was pretty much yeah,
AEW. That's pretty much what launched it. A lot of the guys that were booked on All In are AEW on the AEW roster now.
Yeah.
My boy MJF is there.
Yeah.
We go way
Isn't that
back.
crazy?
Yeah, dude. I remember that guy first started training. I'm not trying to kill kayfabe here. He's a dick, but I'm very happy to see where he is now, man. Shout out to MJF. If you guys don't know who MJF is, check out MJF. Check out his interview with Chris Van Vliet. It's great.
Just big props to him, man.
He's probably like the most entertaining guy right now.
On there, yeah, definitely.
Even on Being the Elite, like his segments, I laugh every time.
Yeah, he is the most entertaining.
He
person.
lives, breathes, and dies MJF. That's just who he is now. Even when I see him in person now, like he literally is. He is MJ. He is. When I see him in person now, and I know why, because he is MJF. Like the separation between who he is on TV and who he is in real life isn't far apart, guys.
AEW though,
yeah.
I like the alternative. I like the wrestling.
It's different. It has a different feel.
Yeah, it definitely has a different feel to it.
If you watch Fyter Fest like that, Fight for the Fallen, that outside arena that they did.
It's kind of like WCW meets NXT.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And it's just different, man.
Does it make sense to you?
No, it does. It does. NXT is different than the main roster, and it's got WCW vibes. It's got that turn. It's on TNT.
Yeah.
Starting October. Was October 2nd?
October 2nd. Yeah.
October 2nd, 2019.
On Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays. So it's not going to go head to head with Raw. It's not going to go head to head with SmackDown, which is moving to Fridays.
But NXT.
Yeah, there's been words. Vince says they might have NXT be a show on Fox on Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's gonna definitely be a war. There's gonna be the Wednesday night wars.
They had an Evolve show on the network the same day as Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah, that wasn't a shock.
They see them as a threat, but they don't see them as a major threat. They just see them as the way Vince said it in the interview earlier is that they are potential competitors.
Yeah, they got money. Yeah, they got. It's not that they don't have the funding. They're doing it. I remember watching a Double or Nothing.
Yeah. I
thought it was a great wrestling.
Yeah.
The production was a little bit sloppy.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of one of their commentators, the Mark guy. Jim Ross is doing great. Excalibur is great.
Yeah.
There's a third guy, Mark Alvarez or something. I don't know his name. I'm not a huge fan of him. He sounds like he's like scared to be on there.
Yeah, it's a little bit nervous.
Like he's timid to he doesn't even have confidence in what he's saying half the time. It's kind of not
JR,
a shot at him. He might be a great dude.
Yeah.
I'm just saying his commentary is not the best.
Yeah, JR saves it regardless though, right? You get the JR voice and behind wrestling. It's always nice to hear his voice.
The in-ring stuff's been great. My biggest flaw with it, because I'm not going to be that guy that's sitting and being like, AEW is great. It is going to be great. It is a great...
Yeah.
And for people that have just been watching the events, but not been watching the stuff they've been putting on YouTube, if you haven't been watching Road to Double or Nothing, Road to Fight for the Fallen,
then you really won't know what's going on.
You won't know what's going on. Because that's what they've been telling their stories, is on Being the Elite on those shows. But to say that, like, there's still a lot of stuff that happens on these shows. I'm like, why is it happening? Mm-hmm. And why do I care about this? Great match. Why do I care?
Yeah.
But I also have made it a point that we can't make a final judgment on AEW until the weekly show
starts. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like I said, it's great wrestling. It's great to watch. It's entertaining. Watching a bunch of guys
and
flip.
It's different.
You know, I like the Lucha Brothers.
You know what's different?
I like watching that.
Dude, that John Moxley coming in was a great moment.
Oh, that was that surprise factor of it, because now AEW has the ability to do the surprise factor right now because there's this fresh. It's new, it's fresh, and there's a lot of people on edge of what's going on.
And they got money
to pay.
They're good at keeping secret stuff.
Yeah, John Moxley threw us right off.
The difference between the WWE and I think AEW is the AEW knows how to work with social media.
Yeah,
they know how to work with the dirt sheets. They know how to work with everybody to their advantage. Most people that work on dirt sheets are WWE or not WWE wrestling analysts and stuff to, and us fans. Most of us fans want to see AEW do good. Not because we hate WWE, it's because we love the WWE, but we also want this to do good because we all have that alternative.
Yeah, exactly. We know we did.
I want to support both. I'll always be a WWE fan.
Look, we have there's ROH, there's New Japan, right? Yeah. But ROH is it's got that NXT. A little bit lower.
It's a step above indie wrestling, but it's not.
It's still got the indie feeling to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
New Japan is just New Japan.
New Japan's great. It's not westernized. It's a whole different country.
That's what it is, right? That's all it is, right? It's same thing. It's fantastic. At this point, I find AEW to be just like New Japan right now because it's just I'm watching wrestling right now, right? So. Great matches, great stuff to see. I'm just waiting for the weekly program.
Familiar with the characters, familiar with who they are. Just weekly program. It's going to make the biggest difference.
I think I like the kind of some of the story thing. For example, the Sean Spears thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I hated Ty Dillinger. I could not stand.
I love that they brought in. I love that they bring in guys like Tully Blatchard. They bring in guys like Tony Schiavone. They're using Chris Van Vliet. They're using people on social media and in our wrestling community, my wrestling community with the wrestling that we know. And we're like, hey, we get popped for these guys that the WWE might not give opportunities to.
No.
They don't fit that mold, and the WWE is so corporate. This is the thing that AEW and WWE is different. WWE is so corporate, and it's such a machine. They will never be able to beat the WWE. It's not competition that way. The only way that they're providing competition to the WWE is providing something different for WWE fans to watch.
Yep.
And
stealing talent.
Yeah, on the talent base. On that standpoint, there's a place where people that aren't happy in the WWE can actually go work and make a comfortable living. Because you could leave the WWE, but you could take big indie bookings for a time being and be a big star, but that's not going to last forever.
You still want the TV.
It's either you leave WWE and go to Japan and make money, or you can't. Now you can leave WWE, stay in America or North America and still make money. And you don't have to go work for Impact, which is trying to still figure themselves out again. You don't need to go work for Ring of Honor, which
AEW's got the funding. They got Tony Khan's behind them right now.
It feels like an actual company. And they have the money to pay guys, and because a lot of people love the WWE because it's a comfortable living. You know you're gonna have a paycheck, and a lot of these guys are beyond that point where it's like they love wrestling and they're passionate.
It's just a paycheck.
They have it's not even just a paycheck. They just have families and mortgages and kids to put through university. They need to get money. They need to have money. It's a career. You can still have a career and work for a different company. No, I don't know if that's true, but you can still have
I got kids.
No, but say Bobby Roode, for example. Bobby Roode's a tremendous wrestler. He was great in Impact. He's great in the WWE, not being used the greatest. But I don't think he minds so much because his priority is not being the top guy. His priority is paying his kids tuition and making a good living in wrestling.
But imagine that Bobby Roode now went to AEW. I think he would
could still make a comfortable living, pay for all this stuff, and could be a top
thrive.
Guy. Yeah. That's where
exactly. Sean
that's
Spears
where the competition comes. Bobby was just an example, but that's where the competition comes.
Like I said, Sean Spears, for example. Yeah. Right? I could not even look at Ty Dillinger in WWE. I was not a fan of him at all.
Yeah.
So now, now I see this whole other edge of him where he goes and hits Cody with a chair and Cody's freaking.
No, 100%.
That's like, okay.
And there's guys that I wasn't even aware of that AEW. Like, I've known Joey Janela forever. I've known MJF. I know who Jimmy Havoc was, but I didn't know who Jungle Boy was.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Luchasaurus was. There's a lot of guys that I'm into now that I wasn't aware of before. And I'm like, these
Luchasaurus was on NXT. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either. Yeah. But anyways, we'll talk more about AEW hopefully the next time you come on Air Intense.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about it for sure next week with Devin when he's back. Happy birthday, Devin, once again. Show up to our show. It's the first episode and you're not even here. But I just
you can Photoshop Devin's face over my
maybe we'll put him on the screen or something. I don't know. But I would love to have you back on here again. I think this is great.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Off the air before this, we learned that we could talk about a lot of other things too. So maybe we'll have some other side shows for the Vibe here.
Definitely.
Live on the Vibe. But yeah, man, this is great, man. Wrestling's at a great point, man. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
It is,
and definitely. It's not just WWE and AEW. We talked about Ring of Honor, New Japan,
so
Impact,
much.
All this wrestling that's going on everywhere. Like, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Bischoff and Heyman are back. Like, it's weird, man.
For guys who grew up in that era, you know what I mean.
Like
it's brilliant.
We're at a point now that like anything is possible.
You know, it's that same thing. Like I said, my favorite era was the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan era.
Yeah,
and
Macho Man's my favorite.
And we grew up, and Bischoff came around, WCW, NWO came around, Hogan became a heel. I feel like now that Bischoff and Heyman are back in business.
Even AEW, they brought Bret Hart out there, introduced their title. Like there's like everybody can go anywhere.
We
literally just saw Rob Van Dam, who was just on Impact, show up on Raw.
Right?
When it comes to the legends, I don't think they care.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
Who else was
I wonder if Brett didn't get invited to the Raw reunion because
they did.
Of that.
He denied it.
Oh, he denied it.
Yeah.
Oh, fair game.
But it was a funny thing. Remember when DX went up during the Raw reunion?
Because Brett's a man. I love Brett.
And they dropped a joke about Billy.
Yeah. like it's weird. Yeah. Like, this is weird crossover right now. Well, it's like it's weird. It's a weird.
Nash just looks at Road Dogg. He's just like,
it's a weird. It's a weird time in wrestling, but it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. One last quick shout out before we sign off. Shout out to Chalkline Official. As you can see, my custom made wrestling classic jacket. I got another one coming in the mail, man. They always hook it up. They always keep me fresh and clean in wrestling merch. I've known them since they started doing wrestling jackets. I got the license to do WWE product. And I remember when I got like the first few jackets and I was excited about it. Now I can't go to a wrestling show without seeing Chalkline jackets all over the place.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't have a promo code for you guys yet. Maybe they'll give me one. Maybe they'll see this and give me one. But check out Chalkline Official, man. They're dropping so much heat for this summer, man. They got a SummerSlam jacket, Heart Foundation tracksuit, a Kane jacket, or Carmella jacket. And, dude, we all know Mella's money.
Heart Foundation tracksuit?
Yeah, Heart Foundation tracksuit, dude. Pants, sweatpants, and oh, dude, it's fire, dude.
All right.
They got and for all my Canadian listeners out there, they're dropping a Heart Foundation hockey jersey.
Damn.
And dude, Chalkline, if you listen to this, I love you guys, and that's why I saved this shout out for last.
Yeah, this is Aneil signing off. This is Back Intense. Hi, Chalkline. Yes,
they have made jackets for Wu-Tang and other musical artists. But shout out to Chalkline Official. I love you guys, and thanks for giving me the Prince of Madness Wrestling Classic jacket. I've repped this all over the place. I got a new Wrestling Classic jacket that's on the way. That's you guys will probably see next week on this show. Appreciate everyone that tuned into this first episode. We're still trying to figure it out. This is number 1. Hopefully they get better if you didn't enjoy this, but maybe they'll get worse. Who knows?
They'll get better. They'll get better.
Other than that, check out DJ Intense. Where can they find you?
You check me on Instagram at This Is Intense, at This IZ Intense, Twitter, Facebook, all the same thing. YouTube, Intense. It's all on there.
You can find me on Instagram as The Wrestling Classic. If you aren't following already, please follow. On Twitter, you can find me at TWC Worldwide. I don't tweet that much, but every once in a while during Raw and SmackDown, I'll jump on and start tweeting. It's very once in a blue moon situation. And also thewrestlingclassic.com. You can always go up there, read some stuff. We got Paul Elliott doing the reviews for Raw and SmackDown, myself doing the reviews for pay-per-views and predictions. And also TWCshop.com if you want some TWC swag. But other than that, this is it for this week. I hope you guys all come back next week and tune in to the TWC Report. The name might change, but the game still is the same. Ooh, yeah, dig it. We out.